All right, everybody, so we're going to talk about solving by square roots today. So warm up, find the values of x when you got x squared equals 16. All right, so what values squared equals 16? What x values? Well, that would be x equals 4. And if you're thinking there's only one answer, there's actually going to end up being two answers, because not only does 4 squared equal 16, but negative 4 squared equals 16 as well. So x equals negative 4 would also be an answer. Every positive real number has two square roots, one positive, one negative. Another example of that is square root of 9. 3 or negative 3 would equal the square root of 9. So that's something to think about as we go through today's notes. All right, so each of these, we're still just solving for x. That's our goal. So on this first one, I got x squared minus 9 equals 16. It's kind of like we're going back to what we did at the beginning of the school year of solving for x, except for now I got a squared that I need to deal with. That's the only big difference. So add 9 to both sides. I get x squared equals 25. To get rid of that squared, I take the square root of 25, and I get x equals 5, x equals negative 5. Okay, why don't you pause the video and try the next one. All right, on this one, divide everything by 4. I get x squared equals 4. The square root of 4 is x equals 2. X equals negative 2. On this one here, I need to subtract 9 from both sides. I get 5x squared equals 5. Divide everything by 5, and I get x squared equals 1. The square root of 1 is x equals 1, and x equals negative 1. All right. So this time I have parentheses, x minus 3 squared equals 16. So this time, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to deal with the square root here at the very start. We're going to have to get rid of that squared at the beginning. So what happens when that happens? So the square root, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to end up with x minus 3, because that takes care of the squared on this side. But on the right side, the square root of 16 is 4 and negative 4. So I'm going to have two equations when I take the square root. X minus 3 equals 4, and x minus 3 equals negative 4. I would have to solve both of them for x. The one on the left, I get x equals 7. The one on the right, I get x equals negative 1. All right, let's make this slightly different. This time I have 4x minus 3 squared equals 16. All right, well, I don't know if I want to do a square root quite yet. I want to deal with what's outside that parentheses first until that x minus 3 squared is all that's left on the left side. So how can I get rid of that 4? Divide by it. So I get x minus 3 squared equals 4 now. And now I can take the square root of both sides. X minus 3 equals 2. X minus 3 equals negative 2. I get x equals 5 on the left equation. I get x equals 1 on the right equation. Okay. All right, I see that x minus 5 squared. I want to get that alone, so I need to deal with the 7 and the minus 13. I think I'm going to deal with the minus 13 to start. 7x minus 5 squared equals 49. Divide both sides by 7, and I get x minus 5 squared equals 7. Take the square root of both sides. Now this time, it's a little bit different because I have the square root of 7. 7 is not a perfect square. So what happens in that case? Well, what happens is I get x minus 5 equals the positive square root of 7, and x minus 5 equals the negative square root of 7. And in both cases, all I'm going to do is add 5 to both sides to get x equals the square root of 7 plus 5, and x equals negative square root of 7 plus 5. This could also be written as x equals plus or minus the square root of 7 plus 5. Okay, let's try one more. All right, why don't you guys pause the video and try this one out. All right, let's see here. So I have 1/2 x plus 5 squared equals 99 when I add 86 and 13. In order to get rid of that 1/2, I'm going to either have to divide everything by a half or multiply both sides by 2. Either way works if you divide or multiply. On the left, I'm going to be left with x plus 5 squared because this and this cancel out, equals, what's 99 times 2? It's 198. I need to take the square root of this. X plus 5 equals, is the square root of 98 a perfect square? It is not, okay? All right, so I know if I don't simplify my radical, my answer is going to be x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 198. Now, we technically should simplify this radical, so let's go ahead and do that. So when I simplify my radical, we learned about this a while back. I need to find my factors of 198. So 3 and 66 multiply to give me 198. 6 and 11 multiply to give me 66. And 3 and 2 multiply to give me 6. So I don't need to worry about this number, or that number anymore. I have a pair of 3s that go on the outside. My loner, 2 times 11, stays on the inside. So my final answer with the simplified radical is going to be x equals negative 5 plus or minus 3 square root of 22.